to Grand Old Academy. It is a dating sim demo for presidential, for political figures. I wanted to play this out of pure morbid curiosity, so let's just get right into it. Grand Old Academy, the most prestigious private boarding school in the United States, rich with history and tradition. The alma mater of hundreds of the world's most powerful men and women. The type of school that no student could even dream of enrolling in unless they had incredible amounts of talent, connections, or money, preferably all three. The grandest, the oldest, Grand Old Academy. My new school. I'll be 28 even. What? No, what? You're fair. You owe me $28. Oh, right, sorry. The taxi driver's words snapped me back into reality. I was standing in front of the main gate of Grand Old Academy, gazing for the first time upon what was going to be my new home. I looked through my pocketbook as the cab driver retrieved my 2 suitcases and set them down on the curb beside me. He slammed the trunk of the cab shut, the loud metallic thunk making me jump. Ooh. I took an embarrassingly long time to count out $28 from the wad of unfamiliar currency in my hands. Finally, I had the proper amount, and I handed it to him with a relieved smile. The driver took the bills, flicked them over, and stuffed them in his pocket. I picked up my suitcases and took a deep breath. This was it, the crucial moment, the start of... Ahem. I glanced over at the driver, who was still standing on the curb beside me, looking at me expectantly. My mind began to race. What did he need? Had I done something wrong? Was I forgetting? Oh, a tip. I need to tip you. Well, if you insist. I opened my pocketbook again and began scrambling through it. I was so overwhelmed with embarrassment that it took me 3 tries just to get my money out. My clumsy, numb fingers betraying me. Fantastic. I'm so sorry. I'm from Japan, and we don't tip there. It's considered rude, actually. I just got off the plane this morning. This is my very first time being in the United States, or anywhere outside of Japan for that matter. I wasn't even paying attention to what I was saying. My mouth was just acting on its own, replacing the awkward silence with equally awkward chatter. I frantically tried to pick out a $5 bill, but all the bills looked the same to me. The scowling green faces of men I didn't recognize looked up at me, disapproving, judgmental. If you can't figure this out, how are you going to survive at the academy? They seemed to silently ask me with their stern frowns. At last I found a bill that had a 5 on it. I quickly handed it to the cab driver, glad to be free of the gaze of the angry bearded man on it. The driver seemed a bit taken aback. Well, thank you very much, miss, and welcome to America. He quickly got back in the cab and drove off. I was suddenly struck with a pang of uncertainty. Was that a 5 that I just gave him, or was it a 50? I had the feeling that it was going to be a long semester. I somehow gathered up enough courage to walk through the gate. I emerged into an immaculately manicured quad, crisscrossed with busy sidewalks. I had seen pictures of the campus while I was applying, but I still felt a bit overwhelmed. It was so much bigger than I expected. Dozens of students walked by, some striding purposely, some strolling casually and talking with friends, some dawdling and enjoying the pleasant weather. None of them seemed to take notice of me, which was just fine by me. I was holding one suitcase in each hand, clutching the handle so hard that my knuckles were turning white. I felt as if these bags, the only familiar objects in this strange place, were all that was tethering me to the earth. I was afraid that if I let go of them, I'd float away. Maybe across the ocean back to Japan, or maybe off the face of the planet altogether. Yeah, I would want you to. Hey, over here! I was snapped out of my reverie by a cheerful, high-pitched voice. Okay, high-pitched. I turned my head and saw a short, blonde girl with perfectly coiffed hair waving at me. Hello? She ran over to me and beamed. You must be the new transfer student, right? Oh, yes, how did you know? Well, your luggage was my first clue. Oh, right. The girl giggled and held out her hand. My name's Megan Kelly. I'm going to be your roommate for the rest of this year. I reluctantly sat down my bags to shake her hand, and would you look at that, I didn't float away after all. I'm Maury America, but I suppose you already knew that. It's nice to meet you. Megan smiled and clapped her hands together. We're going to have so much fun together this year. I just know it. Come on, Maury, let's get you to our room. I'll help you with your bags. Thank you. I fought back the urge to bow, reminding myself that I was in the United States now. I handed Megan the smaller of my suitcases and began walking through the quad. Maury is my family name, by the way. You can call me by my given name, America. Oh, that's right. Japanese is one of those backwards names languages. That makes more sense, actually. When I first read the email about getting a new roommate, I remember thinking that America was a weird last name, especially for a Japanese person. Not that it's not like a first name either, I suppose. Megan led me past imposing brick academic buildings, exceptionally tended lawns, and spacious courtyards. Grand Old Academy certainly was grand. And that building over there! Coming through! Oh, how rude! Who was that? That's Donald, the biggest jerk in the whole academy! Oh, he only transferred in at the beginning of the year, but he already acts like he owns the place. I noticed that Megan had clenched her free hand into a tight fist. And the worst part is his act is working! He's one of the most popular kids in the bait club, even though all he does is insult his opponents. Megan's face is flushed and she's breathing more heavily than was warranted by the stroll across the quad. She obviously harbored strong feelings for Donald. Eventually, Megan shook off her anger and returned to her cheerful baseline. Tonight, all the students we passed waved at Megan or shouted a happy greeting to her, and she responded to all of them in kind. Hello, 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 hello. So why did your parents name you America anyway? Did they always expect that you'd end up in this country someday? That's actually just a coincidence. In Japanese, America phonetically means delicate flower. Oh, me! I guess. There was a moment of silence. I wondered if I should say something to break it. Alright. 3 options. Ask Megan about herself. Tell Megan about yourself. Don't say anything. I don't want to make it awkward. And I think talking to myself seems a little bit more narcissistic when all she's been talking about is Japan and the character. So let's just ask her about herself. Like a kind and gentle person. So, what are you studying here at the academy? Political science and law. I'm not sure what I want to do after I graduate, but I'll probably be in one of those fields. Most high schools in the United States don't offer classes in law. Just another reason why Grand Old Academy is so special. Plus the fact that it's a boarding school and that it only has 3 grade levels. Is that not normal? All high schools in Japan have 3 grade levels. In Japan have 3 grades. United States, regular high school has 4. Huh, that seems strange to me. What are schools like in Japan? No, what's everything like in Japan? I want you to tell me about it. Megan's face looked so eager, I didn't know how I could possibly tell her everything I knew about my home country, but her enthusiasm made me want to try. I'll do my best. And of course, I'll answer any questions you have about the United States. Sounds like a good deal. Megan continued her tour, her energy and enthusiasm showing no sign of waning. That's Keystone Dorm, and that's Independence Hall Academic Building behind it. Over there are Green Mountain Dorm and Granite Dorm. And there sure are a lot of dorms. Yeah, there's 50 of them. 50. Well, most of them are pretty small. Equality Dorm only houses about 20 students, for example, but the biggest ones like Golden Dorm have over 1,000. Wow. We'll be living in Sunshine Dorm, which is the 3rd largest south, but it's not part of the contiguous 40 dorm, so it barely counts. States! This dorm system sounds like it would be hard to get the hang of. Speaking of sunshine dorm, here we are! Megan pointed at an imposing L-shaped brick building that was accented with white columns and pink stucco. The nervousness that I had felt earlier was beginning to return. What if I didn't like my room? What if I couldn't find my classes? What if... Marco! Jeb! Hi, guys! I was snapped out of my panic by Megan's cheerful shout, and my nerves settled back down. I followed Megan's gaze and saw two students dressed in fencing gear sparring on the front lawn of the dorm. The taller of the two lowered his foil to wave at Megan. Seizing a chance, the shorter student darted in and landed a bow in the center of his opponent's chest with his foil. Hit! Oof, nice one. Sure, Jeb is super old. The short student removed his mask, grabbed the bottle of water off the grass, and took a swig. Well, he was gorgeous. He had beautiful brown eyes, delicate lips, and heart-stopping cheekbones. Somehow his hair was perfectly styled, even after being under his fencing mask. Well, his brow was shining with sweat, and in the afternoon sunlight, it looked almost as if he was sparkling. That was a dirty trick, Marco! No, he saw an opportunity and took it just like I taught him. As he said that, he took off his mask too. Super old. Like Marco, he had brown eyes, but instead of sultriness, this student's eyes exuded warmth. He wasn't exactly handsome, but his face had a sort of awkward charm to it. He reminded me of a puppy, an old, decrepit, dying puppy. He was sweating a bit more than Marco, but instead of making him sparkle, it just matted his hair to his forehead. Blah. You're the best mentor a guy could ask for, Jeb. And you're the best student. They high-fived. Sunshine Bros! And just how long is the magic gonna last once you two start debating against each other? Megan's comment was playful, and the boys chuckled. We've agreed that we're not going to attack each other no matter how intense the debate gets. Jeb knows I got his back, and I know he's got mine. I can't remember which one. And who's this lovely lady? Dang it. I felt blood rushing to my face as soon as I heard Marco call me lovely, and good lord, that smile. I tried to formulate a response, but I couldn't piece together any words. Luckily, Megan came to my rescue. This is Bori America. She's my new roommate. Of course, it's nice to meet you, Miss America. A pleasure. Should I give you a tour of... I've got it covered for now, Jeb. Let's not overwhelm America on the first day. Right, well, I'm sure I'll talk to you soon, America. The two of them redonned their masks, picked up their foils, and resumed fencing stances. Megan led me to the front door of the dorm. Oh my god, this is so absurd. They seem nice, Jeb and Marco, right? Yep, those two are inseparable. They're both on the fencing team, both in the debate club, and they're the co-ras of Sunshine Door. Co-ras. Marco's only a first year, but Jeb pulled some strings to get him in the position. Ha! Megan held the door open for me, but I stopped dead in my tracks right before entering. Wait, they're the RAs of this dorm? Yeah, what's wrong? But they're boys. Yes. The dorm's co-ed? Yeah, all the dorms at the academy are. Is that a problem? My head swam. Back in Japan, I never would have imagined living in a co-ed dorm. Relax, not a big deal. Each floor is still divided by gender. Girls on odd floors, boys on even floors. That made me feel a little bit better, but still, I had never so much as held hands with a boy back home, and now I'd be living in the same building as them. Oh god, girls, no, don't hold hands with any of them. No. I noticed that Megan was looking at me with concern, so I tried my best to play it cool. Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. Totally not a big deal. Not gonna stress about it. Trust me, America, you'll have a great time living here. She patted my shoulder with her free hand, looked deep in my eyes, and smiled. I felt encouraged. Accepted. Dang it. I took my first step in the sunshine dorm. The coolness of the high-ceilinged hallways was a welcome relief from my surprisingly warm February afternoon outside. Megan led me up 2 flights of stairs and a bit further down another hallway. She stopped and then pointed at one of the doors. This is it! The plain wooden door was adorned with a simple giant erase whiteboard with Megan Kelly and Maury America written on it in neat block letters. Megan pulled an eagle-shaped keychain out of her pocket and locked the door. As an afterthought, she took one of the other keys off the ring and tossed it to me. Of course, it'd be eagle-shaped. Here's your key! Don't lose it! I nodded and slipped the key into my pocket, making a mental note to get a keychain of my own soon. I followed Megan into her room. No, I corrected myself. Not her room. Our room. Alright guys, I think that's a good place to end it for now until the next episode for it. It's pretty entertaining. It's making me quite nauseous. Thank you so much for tuning in to this video, and I put the link for the Kickstart for the game in the description below if you want to check it out and donate to them. They're almost to their goal, so that's pretty cool. The game is very amusing so far, so I can't wait to see what's next in store, but kind of not. So, yeah. Alright. See you guys later. Bye.